Last Friday on the show, we discussed how the Liberal National Party coalition had hit its lowest poll numbers in years, falling to 28% in one poll and 26% in another. Then, on Sunday night, the latest news poll came out and the headline screamed, "It's 24%, an historic and existentially threateningly low number for the coalition parties. The right side of politics is in a pretty bad state. Or is it? While the Libs and Nats plummeted, One Nation surged to a record of its own, 15% primary vote support. Given the coalition is two separate political parties in all states except Queensland and the Northern Territory, it's safe to say that One Nation is now clipping at the heels of Menzies' Liberal Party for the honour of being the main Conservative party in the country. The decline of the Libs and Nats began before the election and before Susan Lee, though. It began in January, when the moderates, or wets as they're known inside both parties, the left-leaning members of the coalition, influenced the election strategy and told Peter Dutton to soften his stronger Conservative positions on some issues in the lead up to the May election. This made Dutton look weak and indecisive, lost and unable to sell a clear single message and policy position. There is no centre ground on many issues. Some things are just black and white and right and wrong. Not putting a clear position makes you seem untrustworthy. And while voters will vote for someone they disagree with on a couple of things, they will never vote for someone whose position they don't know because it isn't clear, or someone they don't trust because they keep flip-flopping. So Dutton lost his lead he had in December. He was looking like he was going to win the thing. But by the election, it was game over for the coalition. Instead of learning from this mistake, the powers that be inside the party doubled down on it, appointing an even more moderate and centre-left-leaning leader as the power brokers from that faction took even more control. Since then, it's been a sinking ship, poll numbers declining rapidly throughout the year to the current historically low 24% primary vote. But not everyone wants to abandon the party. Some want to stay and fight. Two prominent Liberal National Party elders in Queensland have decided to start their own movement, the Liberal Reform Association. Their website, you can check it out, is at reclaimthedream.com.au, reclaimthedream.com.au. Graham Haycroft would be familiar to viewers of the show as a regular guest and the founder of the Red Unions, the alternative non-left-wing professional associations for teachers, nurses, doctors and general workers. Heath Goddard is perhaps a little less known publicly, but he's one of Australia's most successful retail entrepreneurs, the founder of the huge national Pillow Talk chain of stores and online retail business. Heath and Graham are both long-time LNP members, and they've been significant financial supporters of the party over the years. They've joined forces with a younger entrepreneur, the founder of governance software business for non-profit organisations called Process PA, Mr. Matthew Rowan, and together they are the directors of the new Liberal Reform Association, and they join us in the studio on the other side this evening. Gentlemen, thank you all for being here. Graham, Heath, Matt.
Thanks, Dave.
Graham, I'll start with you. What is the Liberal Reform Association?
Well, it's a not-for-profit organisation which we've set up. It's quite separate from my old business at the Red Union. Red Union, one of the principles of the Red Union is none of members' money can be used for a political purpose. So we set this up quite to the side, and Heath and I and Matthew put our own time and money in, quite separate. Now, that's a little bit of background. One of the problems I've come to the conclusion, and we all have, that the problem with the Liberal Party and the LNP is that the members themselves have disconnected from their members. I mean, the parliamentarians have disconnected from their members. So we've set this up, and there's a move on to even consolidate that disconnect by making the parties even smaller. That it's very hard to join the LNP in Queensland or in any state now. Same in Victoria, New South Wales, you can't join, right?
So it's like a small group have captured the party and want to keep it to themselves. Is it
25,000 people in total around Australia, and most of them are bloody older than me, and I'm no spring chicken.
That's tiny membership, isn't it? 25,000.
It's 0.1%. Menzies had 1% when the population was 6 or 7 million.
You had 60,000 members.
60,000 members. We should have, the LNP or the Liberal parties around Australia should have 250,000 members. So Heath and I and Matthew set this thing up, as an alternate conduit, because the party organisations are actually closing in all states, closing in. They don't want to make any change. This is really comfortable. The politicians have got their pre-selection sorted out, and we said, well, we've got to get the information out and workshop some simple changes. I'll talk about those later, but that's what the association's about.
Okay.
Yep.
So you just want to change a few things, tweak a few things,
Yep.
and then that will hopefully lead to better performance. And one of the main things I think you want to adjust is that you want to get members more involved by giving them more power to vote. Is that right, Heath? Yeah.
Correct. And the whole process, and it's funny the number of what you'd call conservative voters I've spoken to just in the last week or two are saying, but I can't even join the party. They won't let me in.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, heaven forbid. And, you know, my disillusionment comes from that very fact that I've been thinking, well, this is the party that can do more for the nation. And quite frankly, there's no difference between the current Liberal Party in the main nationally and the voter faced with the option of A or B, Tweedledum or Tweedledee, is staying with Tweedledum because that's what happened at the last election. And unless we can get people to be involved in the grassroots of thinking and being involved in politics, young people, they're disillusioned, they're disenfranchised completely. Now, we can't have that. We've got to have the young people wanting to be a part of what's good for Australia. And at the moment, the ones I've got a lot of young people in the company. They're not interested. They've been turned off, and that's not good enough. We've got to be a lot better than that.
Matt, do you, as a young person, I mean, how do you feel about the Liberal National Party in general?
It's
You're not a member, right?
No,
You're the only one who's not a member.
not a member, and so not that I haven't been asked many times or even tried to be pushed into the forefront in local ones, but I'm like, what is the point if the members' voices keep getting ignored at the executive level? And so the elected members seem to do what they want at the behest of what the members want. So why am I going to spend my time, or then we go anyone younger, being engaged if all we're doing is sitting around in branch meetings talking about things and policies that we would like to see or positions we'd like to see taken up, that's then just completely ignored. So at the moment, there's no point getting involved.
So how do you fix that, Graham? You've got to get that connection, that sense that you're actually, if you're a member of the party, you're actually having some influence, you're having some input. I think a lot of people have avoided joining the LNP or the Liberal National parties because they don't feel like they're going to get heard. They feel like it's been captured by a small group of elites. Those elites obviously aren't listening to the people because they're down to 24%. You'd be out of business, right, Heath? If you
I can assure you, if my sales fell by 5 or 10%, I'd be out of business.
Yeah, that's right.
Not half.
So the fix is to give the voting rights to the membership base. Well, firstly, build the membership base, then give them power, give them voting rights.
Yeah, well, someone's got to tell the politicians what to do.
No.
Basically, at this stage, it's the party elites and the leader of the party, and it's complicated. The members have no say. And the problem with that sort of centralised control, it's always one or two people's view. But what you've got to do, and it's been done successfully in Canada in particular, you give the responsibility for the selection of who the parliamentarians are, you give that to the members. And you give them a second responsibility, which is for them to select who the leaders of the party are, the parliamentary leaders. And in Canada, the 40 million population, they went through the same problem about 20 years ago that the Australian Liberal Party is going through, and they said, boy, oh boy, we've got to change. And they did, and they introduced that system. They've now got something like 800,000 members.
This is the Conservative Party of
the Conservative Party.
Yeah.
Before they fell apart, and boy did they fall apart when they did, they were known as the Progressive Conservative Party.
Oh my God.
There's a message there.
Sounds like Liberal Party. Same sort of branding.
We're Progressive Conservative. I mean, anyway, so they did that. And it's been hugely successful, mainly in the provinces. Poilievre, the federal leader, just missed out. A whole lot of things won't go into why, but they picked up 40 seats. So it wasn't
he actually did very well. But he just didn't get over the line because of the.
But in the provinces, it's been magnificent. right? And the same thing here. So you do that. And the other thing that's got to be done in connection with it is if you're going to be a serious mainstream party, you've got to get into local government for two reasons.
Okay.
Local government is very important because it's the third tier of government, if you like. But most importantly, we've got to keep the pressure on the state and federal parliamentarians, and the best way to do that is to have half a dozen people in their electorate who are doing a real good job on the local council. So when the federal
When the state comes along, state election comes along, you've got 4 or 5 people to choose from.
3 spare inside
well,
seats.
this is
That's right.
I mean, there's a classic issue now. There's 500,000 people coming into the country. The immigration debate, right? Now that has local government effects, right? At this stage, the LNP politicians, the federal ones, are remaining silent. The only one that spoke was Jacinta, and goodbye Jacinta. But local councillors would be feeling the effects of that. And if the federal member wants to remain silent, the local little council guys will do it. What that means is the federal people will go, "Oh, hang on, I've got a pre-selection coming up soon. I think I might start talking about what my members want to talk about."
Right.
That's the change.
Yeah.
The change of incentive. In other words, we want to change the behaviour of the politicians so they respond to the members and not to the party elites.
Got it. Okay, well, we're going to talk more about that in a moment. If you want to have a look at this, it's reclaimthedream.com.au, and you can sign up for free, right?
Liberal Party members can sign up, Liberal and National can sign up for free. Others who want to join, okay, we're going to hit you for $20. Because we have some administrative costs, but not a lot. That'll be enough. At this stage, it's free for everybody. We have sort of fixed.
Yeah, I
up
got off for free. So get on down.
Get on down.
No.
Get off for free.
Wait till we can take your money, for heaven's sake.
All right, we'll be back in a second. Did you know that with a virtual private network, or VPN, on your computer, tablet or phone, you can log into your favourite streaming services like Netflix from home with an internet address from anywhere in the world and watch all the shows that they offer in other countries, including stuff in different languages? And using a VPN to route all your internet traffic through a third-party server means that big corporations and big government can't spy on you. If you sign up now with private internet access, we think they're the best VPN servers out there, as a viewer of The Other Side, you can get 83% off the price of your subscription and get online for less than $3 a month. Check it out right now. Go to piavpn.com/otherside. That's piavpn.com/otherside. It's a great service, a rock bottom price, and supporting our sponsor, you are helping to keep The Other Side going and growing. That was a segment clip from our weekly Friday night news show, The Other Side, which you can watch in full by simply going to YouTube and searching up The Other Side Australia. Then you'll find our full shows playlist. You can also find all of our full shows and our segments on our own website, othersidetv.com.au. That's othersidetv.com.au. Help us build a whole new Aussie media by joining us over there and signing up for the exclusive side.